So today we're going to be taking a look at Anakin Skywalker based upon his Clone Wars appearance for the vintage collection. This particular sample I have is the re-released version that came out. I think it's been about almost 2 years now at this point. I do not have the first release of it. I will talk about some of the differences between this one, the re-release, and the first release, and we'll get into that in a little bit. First, we'll take a look at the package. And this is the, if I recall correctly, this is the very first vintage collection action figure that featured the Clone Wars logo. I do recall at the time for the first release, you can find this at various stores at pretty much any time. I recall going into Toys R Us multiple times and you could find like 5 or 6 of these on the pegs. But now, for whatever reason, he's become an extremely expensive action figure and hard to find. I think at the time this was released, the Clone Wars had it was getting popular, but it wasn't quite there yet, like how it is now. Very nice image of Hayden Christensen's head on with the Clone Wars outfit there. This time, Hasbro was completely committed to realistic interpretations in their action figures, so even if an action figure is based off the Clone Wars, it is going to be a realistic look to it. Now it seems they kind of go back and forth between the two. Sometimes they look a little more animated, and other times they look more realistic. This is VC92. And I do have every single one of these except for K2SO. I will review this particular Maul and Wicket eventually. This Luke I will review with the Luke 3-pack that came out several years ago with the Jedi Knight Luke and the X-Wing Luke. And then I'll also do Clone Commander Wolf eventually. So that's the package. Overall, this is a pretty good Anakin. I don't think it's the best Anakin Skywalker we've ever gotten, but I like it for the most part. So 2 major differences between this one and the first release is obviously the face printing tech on this one, which I think turned out alright for the most part. The first release was okay. This one's slightly better. It's not the best head sculpt, I think, for Anakin, but it's up there. And the second difference that I'm aware of is that his skirt here was put on backwards on the first release, from my understanding. It's a little bit of a different cut. This one's a little bit more of a V shape, while this one's it doesn't quite have that V in there so much around his belt there. Kind of similar to the Phantom Menace Maul, where his belt is put on backwards. Something similar to that. Just a minor variation. Lots of good paint detailing on this. So in terms of his articulation, he does have a very good ball joint at the neck there. Can get a good range of motion. He has a hinged shoulder as well. And his shoulder armor there does kind of restrict him a little bit. I suppose you could push it in somewhat. And it goes about 90 degrees. Has a good hinged elbow as well, and a hinged wrist, and both wrists go up and down. Just want to be careful it doesn't wear on his shoulder armor there. Has a swivel waist there, and he has swivel hips. and hinged knees and hinged ankles as well. In terms of accessories, he just comes with his Episode 3 looking lightsaber, or his Episode 3 style hilt. Nice solid blue there. And he comes with a unignited hilt, but unfortunately it does not have a peg, and he has nowhere on his belt to be able to put an unignited hilt. Strange that the Clone Wars Obi-Wan and Ahsoka that were released or a little bit later were they both have unignited hilts and you can attach them to their belt, but for whatever reason they did not do it for Anakin. And you would think for the re-release that they would correct that error, but unfortunately Hasbro did not. So about the only purpose he would have for an unignited hilt is just to hold it, and that's about it. I suppose you could drill a hole in his belt. I think I have seen a few samples out there where people have done that. For me, I don't want to risk damaging the action figure, especially since now this one's not really readily available. Managed to get his Clone Wars symbol on there. I'm not sure exactly what that means. This is the armor that Anakin is seen wearing in the first 2 seasons of the Clone Wars. And just show you what he looks like next to Obi-Wan. They look very good together. But that's all there really is to say about this Anakin Skywalker. Would I recommend it for you? If you are to only pick one Anakin Skywalker, I don't think this is probably the one that you should get. I think the Revenge of the Sith version with the Sith eyes is probably the best one from the vintage collection as far as looks are concerned. And also the 2008 30th anniversary version that came out with the stand that's labeled as Darth Vader, but he has a more neutral face, I think is probably the best Anakin to date as far as just Anakin Skywalker based on his Revenge of the Sith appearance, even though it has the swivel elbows. But if you are looking for multiple Anakins or you're a fan of the Clone Wars, this is definitely a good action figure choice for you. Anyways, thanks for watching this episode. Hope you enjoyed this review and you found a lot of value in it. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. There will be a lot more reviews coming along the way. And thanks for watching.